So this will probably be a little all over the place just because I'm just sort of talking right now, talking while drawing. Pretty much the same thing most of you will probably come accustomed to since I started the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. And plus, I don't know really what I'm talking about right now. I'm just talking and working. So you're just going to get honest reactions. Though you're not watching an honest video because I'm letting you know ahead of time, the video playing in the background is not what I'm currently working on. This was sort of done the day after I finished the challenge, which should be where I start with this video. So what have I been doing since I finished this drawing challenge? Number one, number one, I took a day where I did absolutely nothing. And I mean, I did nothing. All day I did nothing, and it was fantastic. And I made it a point to do that on a Saturday because if I did that during the regular part of the week, I think I would have been pissed. Just because I would have ended up having to go to work on top of everything else. It was nice to just have a day where I didn't need to get out of bed and do anything. I don't have days like that very often, and honestly, I couldn't really afford to do a Saturday, but I did it anyways, and it was much needed and felt great. But the following day, I immediately jumped back into work because I started Sunday off kind of not really wanting to do anything and quickly started to, I don't know, feel funny. Like I shouldn't be doing nothing. I should be working in some capacity. I almost started to feel guilty. So it's like, let me get to work. And that was when I got the page that you're looking at completed. But my mindset, because I've since Sunday got a second page done. So where my head is right now is, like I said, my goal is to ultimately get this comic completed. But between the script and thumbnails and stuff like that, the only real focus I need to do on the comic is the actual drawing of it and creating the pages. Even though I can kind of sort of do the pages at this point, barring if it's a really complicated thing or it's a lot going on in the page, there's not really much for me to have to focus on. I can pretty much do the pages at this point without too much complication, which is why my new goal, because it's almost like thanks to this challenge, this is almost getting too easy for me. And I don't know, I'm a little sadistic. I want to make things a little more complicated. So what I'm currently making myself do is, I don't know how I'm going to hold myself to this. I'm starting another 200 days. No, I'm not doing a challenge. I'm not posting videos for another 200 days of me making this comic. But I'm going to keep a promise to no one else but myself that I'm going to make a page every day and continue to try to produce to get this comic completed as quickly as possible. And my only reason for that is so that I can work on my new comic. Because the new dilemma that I have, and I've sort of been having this for about maybe 2 weeks now, is that I'm having thoughts about a new comic and it's starting to flesh itself out in my mind where I'm sort of having to jot down more ideas about it more and more often. And I keep trying to tell myself, I'm not finished with Shadow Assassins yet. I need to focus on that. Well, there's not really much to focus on with Shadow Assassins. I mean, not Shadow Assassins. Force of Habit, Infinite Uppercut. Almost forgot what comic I'm working on. Shows how out of the brain this is starting to become. But it's like I don't really need to think about Infinite Uppercut at this point anymore. I just need to produce. I need to actually sit down and get the work done. So, with that being said, I want to try to put my all in the remaining pages of Uppercut and get it done and out of the way as quickly as possible so that I can work on my new comic, whatever the name of that is going to be. I'm not getting that far ahead of myself yet. But I can't really, which I hate the term shut your brain off because there's no such thing, but it's like essentially, for lack of a better term, I can't shut my brain off to. I love how I talk about what I don't like to say or do, and then I immediately do it. But in any event, I don't like to sort of shut my brain off to, or I can't shut my brain off to my new comic just to focus on Infinite Uppercut, because that's not it's not working. The more I try to do it, the less it's happening that way. And my sort of focus with my new comic as well has been, there were a lot of things in Infinite Uppercut that are based around interests of mine, like fighting games, and it's almost a parody of such, and the weird humor and everything that's in this comic. It's a very immature comic, but it was the story that I wanted to tell. And now that I'm almost done with it, my new focus is to try to tell a story that I feel like I can tell and nobody else can. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not even trying to, like, oh, I want to tell a story about like this. I'm trying to, in my mind, figure out what are things that I can talk about that would fit a comic that I would write that no one else would be able to. And it may sound a little crazy because there may be people, it's like any comic you do, no one else would be able to do this. It's not entirely true. Um, Basically, I'm not trying to do something cliche that I've already done before, even though it's going to have similar elements to all of my comics because it's me. But I just want to work on something a little different. Still going to have my dialogue and weird humor in it because it is me, but I don't want it to be as loose as Infinite Uppercut. Because this comic is very extreme. Um, but is it? That's the weird conundrum too, because I don't want it to be as strict as my previous comics were either. So it's sort of finding a nice balance in between the two, but sort of fleshing it out and getting all my ideas out of my head and on paper, starting to really draw some things and stuff like that. Like I can't say, I can't shake the feeling right now of wanting to work on something different, but I'm not going to, almost to let that sort of bubble up even more. And I'm going to use that energy to try to finish Uppercut as quickly as I can without just producing crap. Like, I don't want to drop the quality of the comic. I still want it to look good. And there's also art things that I want to continue to try with Uppercut just to see if I can pull it off or how it'll look. Because I stay experimenting while working on this comic. And because of the nature of it, I feel like I can experiment freely and no one's going to complain too much about the art style just because of how it already looks. Not to say that it's like bad or anything, but it's very childish and simplistic. Um, to an extent at least. I'm not going to say it's entirely childish. Yeah, that's sort of my current thought process. So I'm going to try to hold myself to at least, I'm gonna say another 200 days. Or another 100 days. 200 days. Oh my god. Another 100 days of this. I don't think I'm going to make it. Not because I feel like I'll give up or anything like that. I know for a fact that Infinite Uppercut is gonna be done before then. And as far as my new comic is concerned, I won't be working on anything immediately that will require me to be getting pages done. It will just be more of working at 30 minutes a clip every single day, which I want to get more done than that too. It's like I can do more than 30 minutes, which when it comes to script writing, at least for me, there's always days where it's like I sit at a computer to start writing and nothing's coming out. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll worry about all that when I get to it. I'm sort of babbling at this point about that. But yeah, just to be able to get my new ideas out, I want to try and get this finished as quickly as possible. So we'll see what the upcoming days look like. Though I don't think, because I'm also going to get back in the habit of posting YouTube content somewhat regularly again. I said somewhat regularly, like I haven't just been posting every day for the last like 3 months. But I'm not gonna keep that up, nor can I. That was sort of becoming a chore as I was doing the challenge. But I do want to at least get like 2 to 3 YouTube videos done a week. At best, I'd like to get it done on alternating days, but I'm not really sure yet. Trying to get back into the swing of just making normal YouTube videos again. Though what's already weird is I feel like however I was making videos during the drawing challenge is sort of how I want to make them in the future. I've sort of gotten accustomed to that. Almost like a little Bob Ross of webcomics. I just like making a comic or making art and just sitting here and talking while I do it, as opposed to trying to have a topic to talk about. Though this video is just an explanation as to what I've been doing since I finished the challenge. But in the foreseeable future, I know I'm going to be working on some original artwork that's not comic related, simply because I want to do an overhaul of my website and my portfolio. So that's going to be somewhat important to me. But that's all for right now. Like I said, I'm just going to be babbling if I keep on for much longer. Like I said, we'll see what I have going forward. I got a million ideas and I don't really know where to start. So we'll see what happens from here. But in any event, go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Leave a comment below to let me know what you think of any of this discussion of what is, I believe, going on in my mind at this point. I can't even tell. Or just the page of the comic that's going on in the background of this video. And you all have a good one, and I'm out.